Distressed property sales happen when property owners need to sell urgently. These owners may either be in a financial crisis, are about to relocate, getting a divorce, or dealing with a crisis outside of their control. Unfortunately for these sellers, many home buyers see these events as an opportunity to make a much lower offer on the property, leaving the urgent seller with not much of a choice. But we've recently met up with Matt Curry and Shane Roger, two young entrepreneurs who have come up with solutions that can assist these sellers.
So we were contacted by the deceased wife to come in and provide a solution for her.
The seller was actually in an insolvent deceased estate, of which the value of the debt placed onto the property was far more than the actual value of the property. The next steps were that the bank was going to come in and repossess the property, and the people would have to move or be evicted, and of which they'd have no place to turn.
Often distressed sellers are cash-strapped, and to avoid paying commission over to real estate agents, they attempt to market and sell their properties themselves. Matt believes this is also not the ideal situation.
The cons of that is that you need to be very educated on how property transactions work. So I would recommend that people get clued up on how transactions work so that when they are dealing with the later stages of the sale, they know exactly what happens.
The biggest risk that distressed sellers face is potential repossession of the property by the home loan lender.
If it's not sold in time, the bank is actually going to come through to the property and repossess the property.
So what happens is when any type of property or vehicle or anything like that is sold off, there are no proceeds to be distributed to the heirs within the estate. So often what happens is the home gets sold, but the heirs are then left with nothing at the end of the day.
Now that's a huge issue for you as a homeowner, because you'd want to have a home as a place where you can enjoy family time and make memories, not a burden onto you, and you need to find ways in which to sell the property quick enough.
Another option for sellers who are looking to sell urgently is through a process called bank-assisted sales.
So bank-assisted sales came into play in order to help those who were distressed, those people who were finding difficulty in keeping up with their mortgage payments. So what the banks allowed people to do is sell their property below what they necessarily owe on their bond. However, people must note that the difficulty here is that they still actually have to owe the debt, and they have to go into the bank and sign an acknowledgement of debt for what they owe, and the bank is going to give them a set amount of time in order to pay that monies back, with interest or without interest, depending on the type of bank.
Matt and Shane established a company that consults with urgent sellers, evaluates their situation, and come up with individualized solutions for the sellers to get what their properties are worth and sell their property successfully with the dignity that they deserve.
So at this particular property, the seller was willing to fight no matter how long it took. But in the end, what would have happened is the bank would have come through to the property and repossessed the property from them, and they would have actually been living off on the streets, worse off than they originally were.
And what we did is we were able to go to the bank directly that had a home loan over the property, and we negotiated a fair price with them. So because we got the property at a fair price, this left a lot of equity in the deal for us to actually distribute to the deceased wife so that she could move on with her 2 kids to the UK and that she could start a new chapter of her lives.
So the solution that we provided them allowed them to move forward with their lives and change their initial outcome.
Matt and Shane don't see distressed sellers as clients, but rather as partners in a joint venture.
So we've taken this 300 square meter property and we've taken it from what it existingly was, and that was a place that hasn't been maintained in 10 plus years. Paint is peeling off, there's major damp issues, there were cracks everywhere, and we've taken that place and we've updated it by exchanging new tiles, new painting, brand new bathrooms throughout, brand new kitchens throughout, brand new paint to the roof, treated any damp issues on the property. So we've really turned the whole entire place upside down, and now we've got this end product, which is what we define as a multi-let, which is an investment rental structure that we have where we try gain positive cash flow every month from it, but at the same time allowing low-cost rentals for all the people that may be renting in an area that's close to a central business district like Sandton.
Sellers who need to sell urgently need to consider all the options available to them with regards to their specific situation. So I think it's always important to assess the condition of the property, the current market conditions, not just of the country as a whole, but your actual suburb or area that you're living in. All of these factors play a role when you want to sell your property quickly, and also think about what is your end goal? What do you actually want to get out or achieve from a sale? Are you looking to just move on from the property? Are you looking to settle some debt? Are you looking to downsize? Because your end goal plays a big role in actually how you approach the sale of the property.
Understand that you're not the only one suffering this exact same problem, that there are people out there that can help you. Don't retreat, like the situation is really, really bad at times. But the worst thing to do is go and hide away. There's people out there, there's the banks that want to help, there's agents that want to help, there's property solution providers such as KOURO that want to help you to move on from the situation. The situation is tough enough. Move on with your life. It's not worth being in this burden. You're putting your family and friends under pressure that's unnecessary. It's time for you to move on and grow from there.
Life happens to all of us, and often more than once. So instead of staying down, isn't it worth getting up quickly, because what's on the other side of the mountain might just be what we've been waiting for.